let's talk about Shannon Dawson. Shannon Dawson was asked, for lack of a better term, grilled a little bit in regards to his run game approach. Um, he pretty much said he's not going to change anything, and he kind of said that even if you run it outside, it's going to end up inside, A or B gap. Now, I disagree with that. And shout out to the Kane Nation. I put some clips from the Good, Bad, and Ugly film review that's up right now. It's doing extremely well. But I put some clips up on Twitter showing some things in regards to our center, Brockmeyer, and the amount of penetration he's giving up when it comes to the run game. I do hear what Coach Dawson is saying from a coach's perspective. However, he's not giving the entire truth. And this is my opinion. You can run the ball outside. And what he was saying truly is, when you do run outside zone, there are times in which the ball will bend or break back inside, right? And it's all about the path of the ball. And I've seen a lot of people draw stuff up on the board. I saw Coach JB. He broke it up with Steve Kim and those guys on the whiteboard. But the difference between the inside zone or your duo concepts is the path of the ball and you're pressing the perimeter. I think this is important. It's the pressing of the outside. Just because you run outside zone doesn't mean the ball is going to go outside. It's not a toss. It is not a toss. However, you're pressing it. So kind of what Shannon Dawson was saying, and I want to be careful with my words because, sometimes as coaches, we can talk a little too fast and we kind of contradict ourselves. But you can press that ball to that C gap, right? Even to that D gap. And to what Shannon Dawson said, if they're going to defend that edge, like I always say, yeah, that ball will bend back inside. And I don't know if an outside zone will bend all the way back A gap. It may. I've literally seen my man Duke Johnson do it. I was talking to Hurley Brown, and he was, running back coach. He was talking about it. But we're talking about elite running backs that have that kind of vision and the understanding of the play design. I don't know how much we press the edges. I don't know how creative we get with the edges. You clearly see when Malachi Tony runs the end around, that ball gets outside. Even when coach said in shotgun versus being under center, I still disagree. You can run that ball that way. You still can be in shotgun and still hand it off and treat it like a toss. It's all on the path of the running back. It's all on the path of how the blocking scheme goes up front with guys trying to hook versus zone block and all of that kinds of reach blocks and so forth. So I think a lot of what Coach Shannon Dawson definitely made sense, but also a lot of it was, I guess for lack of a better term, a little disingenuous. I will also say this in the press conference. He kind of was being a little snarky, if people want to use that word, and being a little sarcastic in regards of talking about like when we scored. We scored and we ran that up the middle for 9 yards. I get that. But here's what I will say, and this is really no disrespect to the guys, the media personnel in the room. But a lot of those guys are not qualified from a football perspective to answer the question in which Coach Shannon Dawson kind of flipped back on, where he said, well, how would you like me to do it? I don't think that's a fair question to the media personnel. However, Gary Furman said, run a toss. Run a toss. But it can be done in different ways. And I say to the media personnel, when I say they're not qualified, meaning from the X and O perspective, and I just don't think that's fair. I think as a coordinator, your job is to go up there and answer those questions. Now, you don't have to divulge your game plan and so forth, but you got to take the heat when it get hot. Because you never asked. I just want to be fair now. When we win, everybody smiles and bubbles and giggles, right? I've never seen a coach during a win ask a reporter, well, how should we have scored? They don't really get defensive because everything's gravy. But when things don't look good, people get defensive. And I understand that. Shannon, Dawson, them guys putting a lot of time, effort, energy in the film room, creating game plans, practice schedules, and so forth, and all of that. So when people who really don't know the inner workings of how things go and they're constantly being questioned about it, I understand being that kind of defensive. However, the difference is, this is your job. You get paid millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do these things. And you got to stand up and take it on the chin. Because when you win, you can trust me. I want you to look at a press conference when we win. Man, they be in there, hey guys, hey, sure. Yeah, we did a good job. Everybody happy and boom. When it's bad, see people get a little tight. So again, when it comes to the run game, and he said he's not going to change. So unless Coach Mario Cristobal going to make a change, then we'll continue to see some of the same. It's just what it is. So when we go to Dallas, play SMU, continue to see some of the same. Now, what I will bring up as we lean on into SMU now, I brought up some of Brockmeyer as the center. I think right now every O-line has a weaker link, right? Everybody's not the same. But now this is something I would love to see is we got to get him some help. A lot of people in the comment section of the Twitter, when I put out Twitter, we need Chris Rodriguez. Rodriguez. I don't know if he's better or not. I'm not there. But what I do know is that Brockmeyer has been starting since this season started. And I've noticed this, I want to say probably week 1 against Notre Dame. And we haven't gotten him any help. We've gotten away with it. And again, shout out to E. Brown, who so eloquently said or asked the question is, what are we willing to accept in a win that we won't accept in a loss? And we have been accepting that performance consistently in our wins. And it didn't bite us. Now, on that 4th and 1, it bit us, but we were just a better team than them. So far, Stanford, that is. We have to find a way to help Brockmeyer in the run game. Pass blocking, not too bad. I have to be honest. But in the run game, short yardage, we got to do some things a little different. A lot of people are also saying, well, why are we not on the center run a quarterback sneak? Well, the very first way you beat quarterback sneak is you blow the center up. And that is probably why we don't run quarterback sneak as much. Because Brockmeyer would get pushed into the lap of Beck. And Beck is not overly athletic, right? You don't have that quick twitch in him. So there then becomes an issue. I also brought this other issue. We talk about gap scheme plays. What are those? Where guys are pulling, where we're bringing guys to guard here and wrapping them around. Well, if Brockmeyer is getting blown up, he's now in the path of that pulling guard. I explained that on the Twitter video as well, in the good, bad, and ugly. And so with that being said, we have to make sure that we help that gentleman in that case. You know what, Amanda? This is why I'm glad you're a member, you on the team. Says, Coach, please don't take a call until you have a certain amount of likes. Don't sell yourself short. Now that right there, see, in this very moment, I'm Brockmeyer. I didn't see it. I need help and didn't realize it. And here she comes. Coach, this is what you need help with, baby. This is what you need help with, baby. Thank you. So let's do that. Do me a favor, Amanda. Since it was your suggestion, give me your suggestion on how many likes you have before we open up the phone line. God dang, I love it. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. That is awesome. That's what we're gonna start doing from now on. We get to a certain amount of likes. Like right now, we got 83 in the building and 37 likes. It ain't matching up. It ain't matching up. Talk to us, Amanda. What do you think? And I appreciate it. I won't sell myself short. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. So anyway, back to what I was saying in regards to the run game and going into SMU. 60 to 65, no less. All right, let's make it 65 then. Let's go with the high. 65, we open up the phone lines. Get the 65 likes. Let's get we'll open up the phone line. We got 87 in here right now. So get what y'all should be doing. Hitting that doggone like button. I love it. I love it. We already at 46. Look how fast that is, man. People react. I appreciate it. Anyway, I'm gonna bloviate a little bit more, man. If you wouldn't mind, keep your eye on it. That's the first thing. I think the second thing is we have to calm Carson Beck down coming into this deal. This game has a lot of pressure in it. I don't care what people want to say. Win one game at a time. However you want to get there, this game has to be won. It has to be won. This is, in my opinion, from SMU to VTech to Syracuse, this is the equivalent to last year's schedule when we had to win one of two, Georgia Tech, Syracuse. We lost Georgia Tech. We have to win out. We have to win out. We can't afford a second loss. We can't. So we got to win 5 games straight up. So I'm saying all this to say, with Carson Beck, we have to get him calmed down, and he has to be the game manager in which we are anticipating he was going to be this season. Me calling him a game manager is not a bad thing. I want people to understand that. Just go, a game manager. No, that's not a bad thing. Somebody got to be the field general out there. Somebody got to be the field general. And right now, I have to say this. Malachi Tony is the only one consistently doing things, but I don't think he is in position to lead. His play is great, but your quarterback has to be the leader. He has to be the leader. He's the one that gets the huddle. He's the one who calls the play. He's the one that gets the ball out. He's the one that can call audibles and change plays. He's the one in direct communication with the coaches. He is direct connect. And we got to get Carson Beck in some form of fashion to step up, whether it's confidence throws. I hope to God not our screen game. It's abysmal to me. So I'm saying all these things about our offense. On our defense, I thought we played well. Yeah, I put another clip out with O'Connor at corner. I mean, he blew that dude up. I loved it. But I think our defense has played consistent and pretty well this season, even though to the loss to Louisville, 24 points off of, think about it, you only gave up 24 points off of 4 interceptions. That's not including turnover on downs. So off of 4 interceptions, I don't think that's, I really have to be honest, and you only gave up 10 points off of those 4. I don't really think that's a bad showing. Were there some things we made mistakes on? Sure. Were there some things we could have fixed? Most definitely. But we have to be prepared. Right now, SMU is coming into this game. Their quarterback currently has 2,119 yards. That's Jennings. Their rushing game is 456, so they actually a little bit shy of what we had. Same amount of runs, carries, I believe. TJ Harden has 109 carries for 456, and Mark Fletcher, as the leader, has 109 carries for 552. All right. The difference is Beck has 1,600 yards. Let's say it says 1,700 yards. And Kevin Jennings, has 2,100 yards. So we can tell they like to throw the ball around the yard. He can't be sacked, but he is athletic. We got to be careful in our pass lanes on defense, our rush lanes. We may need to put a spy over there. I don't know if W.R.E can handle that. Maybe it is Wesley Bassett. I'm not sure. But we have to find a way to keep that guy under wraps. And let's not get it twisted. SMU went to the conference championship last year. They're still trying to get there this year. They're still in it. They only have one conference loss. So let's not get it twisted. Their conference loss is to Wake Forest, believe it or not, which a game they should not have lost. But they did. A game in which they should not have lost, but they did. 13-12 within like the last minute and a half of the game or a minute of the game. So they should not have lost that game. They're fighting as well. So they're not going to just lay down because we the big bad Miami Hurricane. Now, as you see, I named them on the thumbnail. Miami must beat South Miami University, SMU, just being a little funny. But we also have to respect what Rhett Lashley has done at SMU, and I consider a very short period of time. We're going to get some formations. We're going to get rub routes. We're going to see all type of things. We have to be prepared for those. And we have to get back to the Miami Hurricane defense, football defense, that is swarming to the ball, punishing cats like we did against Notre Dame, like we did against Florida. 5-6 guys hitting the ball carrier. We got to make this thing happen. We got to make it happen. And that's what's important. Offensively, we can be methodical, but we have to be explosive. And right now, I have to say this, we're not explosive. I don't have PFF, but maybe I don't know if that's a stat that may be on there. I wish somebody could tell me how many 25-plus yard runs we have on the season. How many 25-plus yard runs we have on the season. Also, how many 25-plus yard yak do we have, yards after catch? Not a 25-yard pass, but yak yardage after the catch. I don't know if PFF breaks it down to that extent, but that would be a very interesting stat to find out how explosive we truly are as a team. And right now, we don't seem to be very explosive. We're more like a tank. Just real quick. Somebody said one PFF. We only have one 25-plus yard run on the season. One. I hope that's what you're telling me. One PFF run. Is that all you're telling me we have?